I love
I just
that
remember,
area.
like, the animations were bizarre in this game.
Well, because, like, the little
Tonka
characters...
Joe was a weirdo.
The characters would pop up in the corner with, like, little wacky,
and they were all...
expressions.
Tonka Joe looks at a porno magazine at one point.
Oh, yeah.
He folds open the magazine and then
It's
holds
a
it sideways
centerfold,
and it
right?
folds out. And he gets hard eyes.
Yeah, he gets...
And it was clearly a porno. I'm like, that's in a kid's game.
Oh,
That was great, though.
I'm, like, remembering
As a
that.
kid, you don't get it. You're just like, whatever.
What is he
That was
looking at?
weird.
Oh, this is awful.
Why does he like that magazine? He likes that magazine a little too much.
This is off topic, but remember the Cat in the Hat, where like there's a picture of the mom in the live action movie, and then it pulls out to like a centerfold. Sorry, it just made me think of that. Oh, I love that movie. Anyway.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. On this episode, me and Alex are going to be talking about our earliest memories with PC gaming, particularly our first computers that we ever owned, along with some of the various games that we got to play back in the day, including some of the educational games, along with some of the early just kind of PC games you would find during the late 90s and into the early 2000s. It's going to be a blast to the past. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining us as we discuss the games that shaped us. So, how you been?
Ugh, this week has just been, like, nothing really bad happened, but, like, this week has just sucked. It's gone by so slow. I just want it to be the weekend. How about you?
Well, I started off I started off the end of last week thinking I was out of work, and then I all of a sudden got, like, this massive, like, boost in, like, stuff, and I've been, like, super busy all week, and it's been flying by, but for all the wrong reasons.
Oh.
Basically the opposite of yours.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's been super, like, stressful. Like, I'm constantly, like, running back and forth. Like, I just want... The week needs to be done, but it's flying by, and I'm like, stop.
Ah.
Too much is going on.
Oh, see, exact opposite for me. I don't know. I think, well, right now, like, so we've won a bunch of jobs at my work, and then we won another job today. So we're, like, pulling back on the bidding, which means I'm going to help more with, like, the project management stuff, which is cool, but it's kind of a slow start right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know. I'm just really tired, too. And I went to the gym for, this will be day 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This will be day 11 of going to the gym, and I'm proud of myself for it, but I think I'm just starting to get tired.
It happens.
Yeah.
So, what are you drinking for this podcast we're doing today?
I am drinking another Hoot hard seltzer, but it is pomegranate tangerine. And this one is probably my favorite flavor of them all. It's the most refreshing. What are you drinking?
So I did my normal thing of I just go into the liquor store and just grab something random. So I grabbed something called ranch water.
Ew. That just makes me think of ranch dressing. Do you like ranch dressing?
Oh well.
Do you?
I don't mind it. It's not my favorite, but it's not like I don't get repulsed when I see it.
Oh, I taste it and then I gag. I think it's nasty. I don't like ranch at all.
It's called ranch water, but it has like Texas on it and like bull skull, I think.
Well, yeah, like a ranch, like
Lone River Brewing, the Lone River Brewing Company.
Yeah, like a ranch where there's like farm animals and shit. Like that's what it's not just ranch dressing.
Well, I had to specify. No, I had to specify because that's what you brought up.
Oh, okay.
And the people here can't see.
No,
No, I'm not stupid. I'm not the one who thinks ranch dressing. You're the one that went to ranch dressing.
No, ranch water just sounded like I just thought of ranch dressing, and I don't like ranch dressing. So, I'm really tired.
I've got two of these things here. One of them is original flavor, and the other one is spicy. So we're gonna see how that goes later.
Ugh,
today.
Spicy ranch. Is that like buffalo chicken you dip? No, wait, that's blue cheese you dip with buffalo chicken. Never mind.
Let's move on now.
Oh, another thing. I really want that pop figure I sent you.
Oh, you want the One Piece one?
Yeah.
Of course you do. You're obsessed with One Piece.
I want all the One Piece pop figures. Please, someone buy me all the One Piece pop figures. Thank you.
Don't actually buy her anything. She doesn't deserve it.
That's so mean. I quit the podcast. F you.
No, you don't.
No.
You're still here.
Buy me the pop figure.
You didn't go anywhere.
Buy me the pop figure.
Oh, shut it. They're like $3.
No, they aren't. They're like $10.
Oh, whatever.
It's not $3. It's $10. And it's
when you retro game collect, $10 is like $3 these days.
I want the red-haired Shanks pop figure. I want it. I want the Shanks pop figure. I want it.
Oh, did you see they're making more Inuyasha ones?
Yeah, I saw a Kilala one. The cat. The fire cat.
I kind of want it.
I kind of wanted it too when I saw it. I won't lie. It was pretty cute. So, I won't judge you if you get one. But if you see two, get it for me too.
Yep.
Well,
other than that, also, as a follow-up to our last podcast, I'm now addicted to Minecraft again, so that's great. Well, because I went in to get pictures for the thumbnail for that episode.
Yep.
And then I started playing, and I've been playing all week after work because I've been too tired to do anything else.
Nice. No, I haven't. I need to play some games. I just have been like so tired after work in the gym, and then driving. In the past couple days, like driving home, there's been so much traffic. Like yesterday, there was like this big accident on the highway, and it was backed up. So my GPS took me this janky back roads, and I was kind of scared of where I was driving through, and I didn't like it. So it's been one of those weeks where I just want it to be over.
It's alright. I had a day this week where no matter where I went, I got stuck behind somebody who was afraid to drive.
Ugh, I hate that.
I'd be stuck behind one, so I'd take a side road and like shortcut to get to another road, and then the second I get to the other road, another one. It's like,
yeah.
Okay. So then you go to another road, and it's like another one. It's like, geez, it's like if you're afraid to drive, don't drive.
Exactly. No, I keep running into, like, you know how the, like, far left lane is always, like, the dedicated, that's the fast lane. If you're going in that lane, you're going, like, 20 to 30 miles over the speed limit. And the past couple days, I keep getting stuck behind people in that lane going under the speed limit. And I'm like, you're just going to cause an accident because it takes one person on their cell phone driving at a fast speed to not see you, and boom, everyone gets in an accident because you're driving too slow. Ugh.
Yep. Well, anyways, moving on to our topic, I just want to, before we get to our main topic, I'd just like to wish our lovely mother a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
because it is her birthday
Mom!
today.
Well, the day we're recording it, when it comes out.
Yeah, but I mean, when this podcast comes out, it'll probably be like 2 weeks from then, but
yes,
it's the thought that counts.
It is. We love you, Mom. Happy birthday. Woo!
Happy birthday. Now, anyways, our topic for this episode is going to be our early PC gaming memories.
Yes.
And we're talking like mid to late 90s, early 2000s PC gaming.
Oh yeah.
Back when it was a very different world.
Back when PC gaming was not first-person shooters and streaming. It
was still first-person shooters. It just wasn't.
It was? I didn't know.
Yeah, Doom.
Oh.
Wolfenstein and Doom kind of started on PC.
Okay, yeah. I kind of forgot because those aren't my memories. My memories are much different. But we'll talk about them.
I didn't really play them because we had parents that actually cared, but I know Doom was a thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you remember we had at the time we had two main, well there was three, but there was only two we knew of at the time. There was two main computers in the house.
Yes.
There was Mom's work computer, which we weren't allowed to touch.
Yes.
Ever.
No, that was sacred.
And then there was the other computer, which was basically me and Alex's, we don't care if you destroy this one computer, which was set up in our kitchen. And it was basically where we played at the time, really all we had to play was Paint.
Paint? I drew some wonderful masterpieces with that.
We attempted to play Solitaire.
And we also attempted Minesweeper.
And Minesweeper.
Yeah.
Do you know how to play Minesweeper at this point?
No, I just click random things and hope for the best.
I sometimes get it and other times I forget, and I'm like, how do you play this?
I kind of know how to play Solitaire. I'm not good at it, but I get the concept of that down. But Minesweeper, is that even on computers anymore? Can you even play Minesweeper anymore?
So I think there's actually a modern version of it, which is like,
oh, there is.
It has like a story mode now or something. My friend at work was playing it one day on the computer.
Story mode?
I think so.
Why?
It had I don't know.
That's stupid.
I don't know.
That's stupid.
But anyways, yeah, we had that computer, and we had like a couple like early like math and like English games that we could play. Jumpstart. And a few other.
So I was trying to like remember the Jumpstart games. When like you told me like this is the topic for the week, and I was like trying to remember. And honestly, I remember the boxes that they were like red. They had a character. It was like Jumpstart with the yellow lettering, but the games couldn't tell you a single thing. I don't remember any of it. They were so unmemorable.
No, I remember the one with like I think it was like either like a frog or like a turtle got captured and your whole thing was to go rescue them.
What?
And you had to do like
math,
word and grammar. Like maybe that one actually I only had and you didn't have that one.
I don't think I had that one.
I just remember it was like an adventure like side scroller where you had to do like English like problems.
Well, I remember I had like one that was like a 6th grade one, and I think it was yours, but you gave it to me because you did not want to play it.
Yeah, because by that point I was done with educational games and I'd moved on to actual games.
And I think I was like in 4th grade, and I was attempting these like math and science I remember there was like a big like physics section or like chemistry.
Now we'll get to it later, but I remember the Jumpstart games that you had that you probably are going to remember later.
Oh, okay.
But we'll get to that later when it's more applicable.
Yep.
But anyways, like yeah, we had that main kind. Ooh, excuse me. We had that main kind of computer in the house, and it ran like crap. It had like Windows 98 on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was an average computer. It couldn't do anything spectacular, but it got the job done.
Yeah. It entertained us. That's all.
Paint would keep us entertained for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, then after that, we got our first computers later on, and they were. You probably know them. They were by a Canadian company called Patriot Computers. They were the Mattel Barbie and Hot Wheels kids computers.
Yep. And that was our first computers that were like in our rooms, like that we had.
Yeah, those were our first computers we had like to ourselves, like that we actually like, so we could do whatever we wanted. We had no internet connection.
Okay.
So,
I thought we had no internet. I was pretty sure.
We didn't get internet. We didn't get internet until like even like years later.
Yeah.
But yes, they had no internet. They were strictly for games, and both of these computers were, in retrospect, hunks of junk.
Oh yeah, they were pieces of crap.
They were the most poorly designed, like cramped little computers that you'll ever see. If you look them up, you'll understand. But they were gimmicks, basically. They appealed to kids, and as children, you didn't really care because you were like, "Ooh, that's cool."
Yeah.
Hot Wheels or Barbie.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, my computer has flowers on it," and yours had flames.
Yeah, because gender stereotypes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But
the 90s.
Yeah. But what was cool is they came with like a selection of they came with all these cool things. Like they had like it was a basic computer, like a Windows 98 computer.
Yep.
The Hot Wheels one came with this janky ass steering wheel and pedals.
Oh. That's...
They weren't. It wasn't good. Like it did not. It didn't work well at all. I will say.
Yep.
The Barbie one came with like this camera. I don't think you ever used the camera.
I don't think I did. No, because I have no recollection of the camera.
See, I actually when I was looking at the ad for these today, and I saw the camera in the ad, and I was like, I remember that camera, but I don't remember what it did.
I think Mom didn't want me to set it up. I feel like it was that because of like, I don't know. I
don't remember.
Maybe. I think it was like a stranger danger reason. I don't know why.
Well, they weren't well, it might have they weren't connected to the internet, so that
well, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. The times were different though back then,
maybe,
you know.
Honestly, maybe Mom didn't know what it did, so she just ignored it.
Or I didn't know what it did either. So
because I mean, getting the steering wheel to work was a hassle in itself.
It was a pain in the ass. I do not remember the steering wheel. I don't remember.
I remember it,
and I don't
because
remember
I remember
the camera.
we got it to work, but it barely worked.
Whoops. I do remember
Granted,
those computers being pretty shitty, though. I do remember that.
See, I remember them being fine as kids, but in hindsight, they were probably bad.
I think I remember like games crashing a lot, but I think I also had way too many games downloaded on the computer. So
it was that, and the fact that you just would click on things randomly and get.
Yeah, I would just click on everything.
You didn't have common sense with a lot of things, and you just kind of. If it didn't work, you'd just keep clicking on it until it did something.
I'd get angry.
Your RAM was probably like overloaded. That's probably what was happening.
No, I bet it was that.
But anyways, so what was interesting though is these computers actually had like full-on selections of like games specifically made for that style of computer.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Hot Wheels one came with like a crap load of Hot Wheels games. Most notably, Stunt Track Driver.
Ooh.
Now, Stunt Track Driver was cool, and I'm amazed it actually ran well on this computer, because Stunt Track Driver's gimmick was, it was, like, pre-rendered, like, streamed, like, full-motion video, like, tracks,
mm-hmm.
and the cars kind of went along the tracks, and you'd kind of steer them around. It was very basic, but I always remember, because, like, they were, like, the whole concept was you were going through these tracks, like ridiculous like tracks that you probably could never actually make in real life,
mm-hmm.
but they were set around like different parts of like this.
Was this the game that had like the fishbowl where you like the car went over the fishbowl or something?
Car went over the fishbowl.
Okay,
the cat paw was like slamming down.
I remember that now. I remember I played it too.
Yeah, because we traded games because we ran out of games at one point.
Did you play the Barbie games?
Yeah. You played the Hot Wheels ones. I wanted something to play.
Sorry.
Listen up, kiddies.
I remember the Barbie games.
Listen up, people.
And it was like, makeover Barbie. So just imagine.
No, I didn't play those ones.
Aw, I wish
I didn't play those. I played the adventure ones.
Yes.
Granted, I also played them with you because you didn't get very far in any of them. So.
No, I was younger than you by a year.
Oh please! Everyone is morbidly curious to play some random shit.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to play video games. I didn't care what it was at that point.
You just wanted to do something.
I'm sure it probably concerned some people, but whatever.
Well. Oh, I remember. I'm so nostalgic for that Hot Wheels game. I just remember that game so vividly.
My favorite part about every track, too, was it always ended with the car just getting destroyed. Like, the end of, like, the living room one, it would just crash. One, it ended up in the TV.
Yep.
The other, it was in a sandbox. Like, it was always, like, just some misfortune.
Yeah. But that's how it would end when you played with Hot Wheels, so it made sense. Oh, I remember that game.
The best was...
Ooh, sippy.
The best was like not to break away from our topic, but we had real life Hot Wheels and we had one of the boosters. So nothing was better than setting up a ramp and just launching them to see how far they ended up.
That was like the best part. Oh,
We were smart enough not to point it towards the television, but
the television sounded like you were saying Tilly for a second.
no.
Aw.
But anyways, yeah. So Stunt Track Driver is a classic. Like I still have fond memories of that one.
Oh,
There was
me
also
too.
this like design studio Hot Wheels game
Oh, where you could like
where you
make the cars.
you c-
It was
could
equivalent
paint-
of the Barbie makeover game.
pretty much it was mostly kind of like you designed paint schemes and like graphics and stuff. It was mostly for like printouts and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was like this like encyclopedia kind of like one that was kind of like the history of Hot Wheels cars. Then there was also a couple like obscure racing games. Like there was this like rallycross racing game, and then there was like this F4, not F1. It was like IndyCar racing game. I don't think I played those very far because I kind of sucked at them.
But you also had the shitty controller, so.
True. And Stunt Track Driver 2, because there was a
okay.
sequel to that.
Yeah.
I don't think I played that one as much though, because I don't think it ran well on the computer. Because it was more graphically intensive.
Hiccup.
But anyways, moving on to your... We'll get back to some of the other games it came with, but moving on to your computer, you had a interesting selection of games. Barbie games were wild.
Yeah, Barbie games were a time because you could do so because Barbie could be anything, Bill. She could be
So-
anything.
I don't remember the stupid design ones
I
very
do.
well, but there's three that I remember in particular.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Extreme Sports one,
Oh, I remember that one because
where
like
you were kind
you
of
would
going
point
around
and
like a
click.
theme park.
Yeah. She
And
would
it was,
roller
like,
skate, but you could
roller
also
skating.
do other activities.
Yeah, and there was like snowboarding and stuff.
And
I just remember the
skiing.
pre-rendered park that you always got lost in.
I remember distinctly because like it was like the skate like motion had this distinct sound. It was like psh psh psh,
You know
and I
what's
just
funny?
remember hours of going psh psh psh.
You know what was funny though?
What?
That was released for the PlayStation too.
It was?
Yeah, I've seen it in like retro game stores, and I'm always like, I remember that, and it's odd.
That's so funny. No, I remember
were-
playing that extreme sports game so much because there was like I think like I don't really think it was a game you could win or anything, but
No, that was probably the most basic of the three.
but I remember I messed with it a lot. You know, you could get outfits and stuff and change your
Yeah.
outfit because it was a Barbie
That-
game.
That was the one I didn't really play. I kind of watched you play that one, and I was like, yeah, she's good with this one. Now, the second one was like this horse adventure game,
Oh yeah,
where it was like, but it had like a full-on story mode.
yeah.
Now,
Well, it was like a
two-
story. So wasn't it like there was like the horse and the horse was like stolen or something, right? It was like the horse
Some-
was stolen.
No.
and you-
You're thinking of the later one that you got like years
Oh,
later.
okay, never
This
mind.
one, that one was like in full 3D.
Yep.
This one was like, you'd like go down a trail, and it was like a mystery kind of, and you'd kind of go down these trails, and then like when you were actually riding the horse, it would switch to like first person on the horse, and it was like pre-rendered graphics.
Oh, I remember.
But when
now.
you were off the horse, it would go to like a side view.
Yep.
And you'd kind of like poke around the screen, and you had to like go down these different hidden paths to like uncover more of the story to find like these like secret areas.
Yep.
I remember that one because you got stuck all the time. You'd always be like, I can't figure it out. And I'd just be like, there's a path over there, go that way. And you'd be like, I didn't see that. And I'd be like, it's okay.
I was a little dumbass back then. It's okay.
I'm only a year older than you. I wasn't that much smarter.
Oh, well, I wasn't very computer savvy back then.
I wasn't either.
Well, you clearly were more than me.
I had a hard time opening the disc tray most of the time back then.
Oh god, but that's because they were janky computers.
Well, no, the disc tray was probably the most normal thing on those computers, to be honest.
Yeah, but they were janky.
They also had floppy drives. Now that I think about it,
Ugh.
what kid's gonna ever need a floppy disk?
Hey, you never know. It was
And
a
then-
different time.
Yeah. How many people listening even know what a floppy disk is?
Ugh.
I mean, you know the save icon,
Ooh.
but no, that's being rude. Most of our audience probably knows.
Mm.
Let's be real. But And then the third game was probably the most memorable of the three, was Detective Barbie in the Carnival Caper.
Ah!
This game was wild.
It was wild. Well, you know what? The best part about that game too is that it was replayable. So like
because it changed every time.
Yeah, the story would change every time. So you just keep playing and playing and playing, and like you could like uncover different things that you didn't go through in your first playthrough. That game was the shit. It was great. I played that so many times, and you played it so many times because it was so fun.
Well, yeah, because that was a game.
Even though the slide sequence always made me feel uncomfortable for some reason. Especially when you were chasing the dude. You were chasing the bad guy, the Carnival Caper.
It could be a girl too.
What?
It could be a girl sometimes too.
Yeah. No.
But no, my favorite part about that game is that game has literally almost every possible name imaginable programmed into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you could put your name in, and Barbie would say your name.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh,
the list that you got was insane.
They spent a lot of time on that. That's
every single name possible.
Yeah.
I swear is in there.
Well, and the funny part is too is that like at that time like there was no like we don't have any like Siri where she can like they didn't have technology like that. So someone recorded all of those names.
Barbie's voice.
The Barbie voice actor recorded all of those names. Like, she must have just sat in the studio going, Allison, Alexa, Andrea. Oh, I hope I didn't start my Alexa. Oh no, I did. The Alexa just.
Oh. Well, that's your own fault. Now you're gonna get woken up at like 2 a.m. because it set an alarm.
No. If anything,
or it's ordering. You're gonna get Detective Barbie in the mail tomorrow.
No. I didn't say like a command. I just said the A word. I'm not gonna say it. I hate my life. Oh my god.
But anyways, moving on from that, the other crazy thing about that game was like. It was weird.
It was weird.
You had to. It was like an adventure game, and you had to like drag her around like the screen, but you could like go off screen and get stuck behind buildings and stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
What I always remember is there was the random carnival rides that you could go on.
Oh yeah.
And they always lagged the computer out because they were like CG pre-renders.
Yep.
But the merry-go-round was weird because it had this really like goofy song about like fairy tales and shit.
Yeah. Oh.
And it was always like, what is this? Like, that's when you turn the volume off.
Yeah, there was a lot of like kind of creepy music in that game. Like there was like a whole bunch of it. It wasn't just like one at one time. There was a lot of creepy music in that game. It gave you the creeps. It had creep vibes.
I just love the pre-renders. The pre-renders in that game are hilarious looking back at it.
That game I have so many memories of. That game is so fun. So weird.
The funny part is though, it's like every time you'd finish it, you'd play it again and it would have like a different outcome. But you learn all the different like possibilities, so you just kind of have to figure it out each time.
Yeah. Oh, I was also gonna say this was like the era of after you finished a computer game, it would say, "Here's a certificate you can print out." Do you remember that? The era of games where you could print out the certificates
you could print out freaking everything.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
No, I remember that distinctively. Like all the games like had that function.
Detective Barbie, you could print something out at the start of the game once you got your junior detective badge.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't think I ever printed out I think Mom was like, no, that's a waste of paper. You're just gonna throw... I don't remember ever printing it.
No, it's because PSA here, people, printers are bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Dealing with freaking printers is like... And I don't know how many times, because they came with printers.
They did?
Yeah, they had like printers and they could print, but the printers never freaking worked.
No.
Always jammed up. It was ugh. Not worth it.
And even to work this day, I don't think there goes a week where we don't have a printer problem. Printers just
the printer
suck.
at work. The printer at work breaks at least once a week.
Oh yeah, no. Every printer at work does. Everyone's work printer breaks at some point during the week.
There's always the one guy who can fix it.
And then there's the 10 people who can't. Ooh.
That was your cat.
That was my cat. I don't know if you can see her, but she's currently in the door cat tree.
I know. But
that scared the shit out of me, I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, ooh. I thought someone was knocking on my door. It was just like, ooh.
Yeah. No, but I always remember, I think you played that Detective Barbie game a lot.
Yeah, I played
Honestly,
it a lot.
That game had more mileage than all the Hot Wheels games combined.
Oh, yeah. But it was so fun. It was so fun. Oh, it was my funnest game I had before we got, like, different games that didn't come with the computer.
Well, we haven't even finished the ones that did came. But,
there was more? Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, there was more. You probably never played them because you just played the Barbie game all the time.
Yeah. No, I don't remember any of the other ones. I remember those Barbie games, but that's it. And that Hot Wheels game, because it was fun.
Yeah, that was, like, the one game that you played.
Yep.
But, yeah. That was interesting. Honestly, that was... I'm kind of amazed. I'm kind of amazed, actually, how... It's... You know what was the weirdest part about that game, too?
What?
How, like, just abrupt, like, the voice acting was at times. Like, whenever Barbie said your name.
Yeah, it was just, like, it was kind of startling. Like,
it was the same, like, it was the same recording every time.
Yeah, it would be like, come on, Janice. How are you, Janice? Like, it would just
Well, for you, it was Lexi.
Oh, yeah. No, and it was...
Because you went by Lexi at that point.
I'm actually really surprised. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of surprised that they actually gave the boys names. Like, I'm surprised, like, during that time that they did that. Like
yeah.
they gave the option. Yeah, no, I'm actually, like, just thinking about it now, I'm just like,
yeah, because
my
name
really
was in there.
surprising.
Every variation of, like, William was in there pretty much, so,
yeah.
including nicknames, so.
Yeah. They were Barbie.
Anyways, guys, we're going to take a... Yeah.
Ahead of its time.
Anyways, guys, we're going to take a...
Anyways, guys, we're going to take a quick break.
We're going to take a quick... We're taking a break. We'll be right back. Bye.
Bye.
And we're back.
We're back.
So anyways, continuing on with some of the other games that came with the Patriot computers, as we'll call them. Mm-hmm. I'm remembering now, both came with a copy of Myst.
Oh.
The classic PC game.
You
probably never...
I never played it, and I know nothing about Myst. I won't lie.
You never touched it.
Nope.
I forgot I had it back in the... Because I vaguely remember playing it back then. Now I completely remember it came with these computers.
That's so...
Although I've played it... I have it on the 3DO as well, now that I think about it.
That's so funny.
Which means we'll be playing that later, but more on that later.
Oh boy!
But other than that, like, another classic was Kid Pix. You remember Kid Pix, right?
No.
You don't remember Kid Pix?
No.
It was like Paint, but fun.
I had plenty of fun in regular Paint. I do not remember
Okay.
Kid Pix.
So
What the heck?
She probably never... See, the thing was,
Kid
all these
Pix
games...
sounds creepy. It doesn't sound
Okay.
right.
So the thing with these computers that we have to point out is all the games were preloaded on, but you still had to put the disc in to play most of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex never switched the discs. Like, that was too much effort for her.
Yeah.
So she probably never even touched the Kid Pix disc.
Nope, I don't think I ever did because I have no memory of it.
For the people who don't know, Kid Pix is basically, it's Microsoft Paint, but it's made for kids and it's super fun. And it's basically like, you basically get a whole bunch more options. Like, there's bricks that you can just use, and like other things like 3D models and stuff you can put on your paintings. But what makes it fun is, like, rather than just a simple erase tool, you also have like these like fun erases. Like you can just stick a dynamite and just blow up your creation to make it go
Oh,
away.
is it kind of like Mario Paint?
Yeah, in a sense, but it was more 90s.
Yeah.
Even more 90s than Mario Paint. But
But
this was like the first generation of Kid Pix too. It wasn't the later, more advanced models.
Yep.
But anyways, aside from that, there was also a couple more just kind of general. There was a couple Jumpstart games. I think that one I had mentioned earlier was there.
Yep.
And also mine came with Oregon Trail Volume 3 or 3rd edition.
Oh, that's fun. Did you play it?
Yeah, I never got past the first disc though.
Oh, did you?
I didn't know how to start a. I didn't realize you had to actually like talk to people to start a wagon party.
Oh. Womp womp.
So I just never got past the first area. I remember playing it though and being really confused.
Yeah, that seems like as a younger child that would be hard to pick up.
There was that one. There was like this weird like nature, kind of like ocean exploration game that came with it and like learning about the ocean.
Oh, that actually seems familiar. That does sound familiar. I think
that was
I
one of the ones
messed
that-
with that. I think I fucked with
Yeah.
that a little bit.
There was also Reader Rabbit, if you remember Reader Rabbit.
I think I remember that.
That was like this, like these basically just like kind of books that
Oh,
all
like
revolved
the
around
living
this-
books things, almost like
Yeah,
those.
but not as advanced.
Ah.
But anyways, good segue. So outside of obviously the stuff that came with those, we got a lot of like edutainment games.
Oh,
that
yeah.
You'd commonly find in like schools or libraries.
Yep.
But one of the main ones was living books, which were basically interactive storybooks, usually based off of a lot of Mark Brown books.
Yeah.
There
A
was
lot
some
of
Dr.
Arthur.
Seuss one-
A lot of
Yeah, Mark
Arthur.
Brown.
Oh,
Mark Brown,
I didn't-
you know.
I didn't know that. I don't know my
Also-
Arthur facts. I'm sorry.
I only remember that because he visited our school at one point.
He did.
Yeah.
What?
You might not even have been part of that. I might have
I don't
been in
think
my class.
It was either I was and I just have no I probably just have no recollection.
No, you might have still been at the other school back when there was two schools.
Oh, like a kindergarten and like a oh
Maybe either that. I just remember because it was like the Arthur guy came to our school
Huh.
and talked to us. As a kid, I remember I was like, it's just some guy.
Guy.
I was like, I don't get it. I always remember that one though. But that's why I remember his name though.
It's just
But,
some guy.
Well, you're.
No, I know.
They hyped it up like it was like the greatest thing ever. It's like when the Red Sox. It's like when we're from New England, by the way. So it's like when they brought the Red Sox World Series trophy to the school,
Yeah.
and me being someone who doesn't really care about baseball, I just looked at him like it's just a fucking trophy.
Trophy.
Who cares?
I remember that too. Yeah. Oh.
You looked at it for 2 seconds. They brought it in like a freaking limousine and like brought it over. It was like
you know what
it's
that's like when like a teacher gives you like a rock or something to pass around the class and you just hold it in your hand for 2 seconds and you're like, very interesting. Pass it to the next person.
I didn't even look at it. I just pass it on. I'd be like, I don't care.
I at least tried to look interested.
I was like, this is a rock.
Yeah.
I get the same experience at recess, thank you.
When I throw them at other people. Just kidding.
I didn't have any friends, so I just kind of sat in the corner and just played with rocks.
Oh, I would have been your friend. Just kidding.
Yeah, but we were in different grades.
No,
so.
I probably wouldn't have because we hated each
No,
other
you
at
had
that
you had friends. I didn't, so
Oh.
it's alright. I don't really care. But anyways, moving on. It was very much like that. But getting back to living books.
Getting back, wow. This should just be
Living-
called the podcast where they just get off topic because that's what happens every time.
That's like every podcast ever, though.
Yeah, but I feel like we do it way so much.
I don't know. I've listened to some podcasts where they barely talk about what they're about. So.
Okay.
But that's kind of why people like podcasts, because it's real.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I hope we're funny. But anyways, getting back to...
I don't care if we're not. But
we're having a good time. That's all that matters.
we do this just so we can talk, because
Yeah.
we don't get to see each other.
This is our weekly talk time. Woo!
Pretty much. But anyways, as I've been saying.
Yes.
Back to living books. Living books were basically a selection of interactive storybooks.
Mm-hmm.
They would basically follow the lines of these like children books, particularly Arthur. There was also like classics like Turtle in the Hare and stuff like that. But what made them fun was, in between every section, you could interact with the pages and click on things, and like different things would happen. And you could just constantly like click on the clock, and the clock would like do something.
Or like I think one thing was like if you clicked it, I don't know, like a bird would appear, and then the birds would just keep coming out, and you could get like thousands of birds on the screen.
Yeah. You get distracted by like you'd be skipping the actual like learning part. You just want to mess around on the screen.
Yeah. I think I remember in the Arthur ones, there was like one point where you could make a sandwich and it would like flop on the ground. I remember doing that a lot. I don't know why.
I remember there was one where like you'd click on something, it would just make this like screaming sound, and I just keep clicking on it.
Oh, childhood. Oh, I did really like the living books. They were fun.
They brought them back too. They were an app.
Really?
Yeah, the creator made it like an app or something.
That's so
on, like,
smart.
Phones for kids.
That's actually really smart. I mean,
It was a
kids
good
with
idea.
the iPads, like, perfect.
Yeah. But continuing on though from living books, another similar thing was the Humongous Entertainment games.
Putt, and Freddy Fish, and then Spy Fox,
what's funny,
Pajama Sam. Sorry.
We never had Spy Fox.
No, we had like a demo of Spy Fox though.
Well, yeah, because every Humongous Entertainment game came with demos like
Yes.
of all their games that you could play like small portions.
Yes.
We never had Spy Fox.
No.
We had this Pajama Sam sock sorting game.
Yes.
Because there was like the main Humongous games, and then there was like these weird like kind of like mini game ones that you could also get. And the one I remember the most was the Pajama Sam sock sorting one. But that was all we had for Pajama Sam.
Yeah.
The ones we had
Putt. We had
Putt-Putt, and we
had almost all the Putt-Putts, I'm pretty
No,
sure.
no, we actually only had 2 Putt-Putts. We had Saves the Zoo.
Yes.
And Ready to Race.
Yes.
That was it.
Yep.
We had, and then for Freddy Fish, we actually only had 2 Freddy Fishes too.
Yeah, we had like the original Freddy Fish.
We had
right?
the first Freddy Fish, and then we had like the 5th one.
Yeah, and the 5th one was like weird. I remember.
Different.
I remember there was a Taffy part of it. I don't know why, but I remember Taffy. Do you remember
I just
Taffy? I remember.
No,
Taffy.
I remember the ending being creepy because the guy who was clearly the villain was very obviously the villain, and it's like, yep, he's the villain.
Yep. Wasn't it like a Kraken or something? Like the villain?
No, that was like one of the middle ones.
Oh.
No, this was like, it was like they needed the deed. No, the Kraken was the good guy because it was the deed to his like land, but the guy who was the obvious villain stole the deed.
Oh. Oh, one thing, didn't that Freddy Fish game also have like it had like a Battleship game where you could play Battleship. I remember playing Battleship.
But anyways, getting back to Putt-Putt, I'm pretty sure everybody from our generation played Putt-Putt Saves the Zoo.
Oh yeah, that game was so iconic and so fun. And the song, the intro
saves the zoo.
Putt-Putt saves the zoo.
Yeah, let's not do that. But honestly, I haven't played that in probably 2 decades.
Yep.
I could probably pick it up and play it 100%, like no issues.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have any trouble.
No, but I mean, I remember that much of it.
No, I remember a lot of it too. Like I remember there was like the little hippo, and he was in like the wrong area, and you had to get him back to his home.
Well, they were all in the wrong area.
Yeah, that was the whole, and then the little giraffe guy. It was a hippo, giraffe, and then a monkey. Was it a monkey?
Monkey, a shark, no, there was no monkeys. The monkeys were creepy because they were up in the trees and they rapped.
And they were like jazz. They were playing like bongos and stuff.
They were beatniks. They were doing like beatniks or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the penguins.
I didn't like clicking on them.
The penguins too.
Oh yeah, the penguins were rocking out in the corner.
Yeah, they would be
there.
like, like there was like a distinctive like song. I remember the penguins so much. The penguin. Oh, it was a polar bear.
Yeah.
Oh no, there wasn't a polar bear. I don't remember. I know a hippo and a giraffe. I can't remember the last animal.
Yeah. There was a snake. There was definitely a snake because you had to give the snake hot chocolate because he was frozen.
Oh yeah, the snake was in the cold area. The giraffe was like, wasn't he like in like a I don't remember. I don't know. I remember the snake though. The snake.
I don't know. There was a lion. There was a lion cub who was stuck on a hill, like on like a rock. I remember that one.
Oh yeah. Putt Putt Saves the Zoo is pretty fun. Except
Outback Al does
screw
nothing
Outback Al.
He's useless.
Screw him. He sucked. It's his zoo, and we did all the freaking work. Screw Outback Al.
He says he has to go. He says he has to go fix the park, and you end up fixing more stuff than he does.
Oh, also remember at the beginning of your game, there's like that snack van, and you can just unlimitedly get all the snacks.
Oh yeah, you just keep buying all the snacks because he doesn't care.
Yeah, he just.
That world is like super like fun because you can just get everything for free.
No, not in
except for car washes.
No, car washes are not free. Gas is free. I wish gas was free here.
Well, gas is like water to them.
Yeah, it's life juice. Life juice.
But you know what always bugged me about that universe, though? It was a universe inhabited by cars, but animals still existed.
Yeah.
Like, who created the cars? We'll never know.
It was the people.
Also,
before they exterminated.
I remember the Italian guy at the beginning of the game too.
Oh yeah, Mr. Italian man, Italian car.
And the bread would like get a French hat and would talk.
Yep.
It was.
They had some weird.
Nowadays.
They had some weird imagery in some of those games. They really did. Oh, I distinctly remember those games. I remember we played them so much, and then we played the demos a lot too. Oh, good times.
Yeah. I remember that. And then we had that, and then we had Putt Putt goes to the race, or at the races, the racing one.
And that one, like, you had to get all the stuff to become, like, a race car. So it was, like,
and
tower.
then you had to do a race at the end of the game.
Yeah, I couldn't beat the race. I know you had to beat it for me. I'm pretty certain.
My favorite part about that is you needed, like, the high-octane gas.
Yeah.
So you'd get the gas, and then Putt Putt would be, like, on steroids, and he'd be, like... but it would wear off, so you needed to find, like, a gas tank. But you had to, like... It would be in different places at different times, because these games also, like, randomized, kind of. Mm-hmm. So you'd have to... Everything would be kind of in different spots.
Yeah. No.
I remember that. That was...
And
that one wasn't as good, but it was still okay.
Yeah. Well, I remember... Well, that one, it was, like, you were kind of... You went around the town, though, because I remember you could go... They had, like, a drive-in, and you could go to the little drive-in. I think that was in that one. And it also... Wasn't there, like, a dark cave? Was that one the one that had, like, the little farm, too? Had, like,
there was the farm. There was also the dark cave where you'd, like... You always run over something, be like, what did I run over? But you couldn't do anything about it. Oh, yeah, that was also the cave where you had to, like, honk before you went in, or else you'd get run over.
Yeah.
That was by the freaking psycho car that just speeds through.
Yep. I remember that. There's some weird stuff in those games. And then, wasn't there, like, something that caught on fire, and you had to call the fire truck?
Yeah. But it wouldn't happen in every playthrough.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, there was some odd design choices in those games.
There was.
Like, you needed to get the safety helmet for Pep, so to get that you had to get, like, a cat that was stuck in a tree down because he had a safety helmet on, and they'd give you the helmet.
Yeah. So silly. Wasn't there also, in that Putt Putt game, there was, like, a section where they could, you like, hammered nails in for something? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I was terrible at it.
I remember that distinctively. It's so funny, like, the things you remember from those games that it's just
yeah.
You're like, I remember a hammer and nails.
But aside from that, then there was also the first Freddy Fish. And
yes.
Basically the same thing, a point-and-click adventure game.
Oh, yeah. And it was like you had to get the kelp seeds back. That was the plot, because Grandma...
And the two
Grandma
sharks
Grouper.
that were always... The two sharks that are incredibly incompetent.
The bumbling idiots. Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember that, because you had to, like, go around and, like, you'd have to, like, do... And in that game, it wasn't even, like, you had to, like... It wasn't like Putt Putt, where you had to, like, find items in order to do something. That was just, you were just trying to get figure out where to go, and all these people just kept asking you for favors. It was just like, oh, I'm trying to find Grandma Grouper's kelp seeds. Okay, leave me alone. I'm trying to do that. Just tell me so we can all eat.
It's like most like point and click adventure games. You're always doing, it's fetch quests. You do one thing for someone, then they help you out, and then you do something for someone else, and then they help you out. It's a common trend.
Do you remember the crab that was in a cage and it would sing everything it spoke? It was like Figaro.
Fiddler Crab. Fiddler Crab. How'd you get stuck in the cage this time? There were some bad stereotypes in these games.
Oh yeah, there was some not things that would not get away with nowadays.
Well, no, people don't really bring it up because there's such nostalgic memories from these games.
And they're also like they didn't mean any harm. They were kids.
Well, no, because as a kid you don't notice, and then you grow up and you're like, huh. But you don't really care because it's like it's a kid's game, whatever.
Kids, yeah.
It just always makes me laugh. I'm like, wow, this was a different time.
This was a different time in a different place. Whoa, yeah. They're still fun.
Anyways,
like you can still look up a playthrough online and enjoy it.
Oh, everyone's playing them still.
Yeah,
because that's what we do now. We play our old nostalgic children's games.
They're just so fun.
But anyways, moving on from that, then there was the Tonka games, because Tonka had a crap ton of games.
And I remember this is one of those games that like it was designed for boys, but I played it just as much as you.
So there was a bunch of these, but the first one I distinctly remember was there was the workshop one, which was a number of different workshops where like you'd build things. But what made them cool is it had like this add-on that would go over your keyboard, and it would be like a tool set.
Oh, that's
and you'd
cool.
use the actual tools throughout the game to actually play the game, because it was all like a sort of like set of mini games.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
You'd have the drill and you'd have the hammer, and the way it laid over the keyboard so each one would correspond to an actual key command. Mm-hmm. And it was cool, but it was also obnoxious, especially with the hammer. You'd be banging on the keyboard.
Yeah, I feel like that probably killed quite a few keyboards. I bet that killed your keyboard at some point.
No, because that keyboard never died.
Oh, wow. Hey, maybe
no, because I found it was faster not to bother using the hammer and just pressing down on the nail, because it was just a button.
Yes.
But,
I didn't play that one, but...
No, well, because that involved the stupid keyboard thing. There was another game that also had the keyboard, and it was like this... It was a bit more advanced. It was probably the most advanced Tonka game I played on this particular computer, and it was like this like 3D one where you'd like... The thing, it would go over your keyboard again in a similar way, and it was like... kind of like joysticks, like you were actually controlling actual vehicles.
Oh.
I vaguely remember that one because that one was very late into the PC time, and it didn't really work well on that computer. I remember.
I don't see that working well, the whole concept, but interesting.
I mean, it played fine. It just ran at like 3 frames per second. But alongside that one, there was also Tonka Construction.
Yeah, and that's the one I played.
That one was pretty cool because it had a whole number of different
areas,
objectives.
Different games. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like the whole you go to the desert and you have to rebuild the desert, like pave the road, pave the highway, and it's like you pave the whole highway, and then a city magically appears in the distance.
Yeah.
They built the city in 3 days.
And then there was
which is funny because there's actually a city level where you build buildings in a city.
And then there was also a mining area where you tried to
I
mine
love the
for
mining
gold.
area.
That was so fun.
Because there was, at first, it's like, okay, bring those over to the rock crusher, but you can just drop it on the ground. It doesn't.
Yeah, and I remember the little I don't know the name of the equipment, but it was so sassy how it dropped it, because it would just be up and then go. Meh.
Oh, the front end loader.
It dropped it off very sassily from what I remember, because I always remember just going up, because I was that kid. I would drive up to the person and then just go boop, right next to them, and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" Because I remember the person would comment every time you dropped it or something. I'm pretty certain that happened. Oh, I love.
I just remember The animations were bizarre in this
Yeah.
game.
Well, because, like, the little
Tonka
characters...
Joe was a weirdo.
The characters would pop up in the corner with, like, little
Yeah.
wacky,
And they
like,
were all-
expressions.
Tonka Joe looks at a porno magazine at one point.
Oh, yeah.
He folds open the magazine and then
It's
holds
a
it sideways and
centerfold,
it
right?
folds out. And he gets a hard eyes.
Yeah, he gets...
And it was clearly a porno. And I'm like, that's in a kid's game.
Oh,
That was great, though.
I'm, like, remembering
As a
that.
kid, you don't get it. You're a kid, you're just like, whatever.
What is he
That was
looking at?
weird.
Oh, this is awful.
Why does he like that magazine? He likes that magazine a little too much.
This is off topic, but remember the Cat in the Hat, where like there's a picture of the mom in the live action movie, and then it pulls out to like a centerfold. Sorry, it just made me think of that. Oh, I love that movie. Anyways,
You just reminded me of Adams. You just reminded me of Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat, and I did not want to be reminded of that.
why that movie's great? It's a
That
mess.
movie is the best train wreck ever.
I love that movie.
We need to do a podcast on that movie so I can also talk about the video game. at some point.
Okay, okay, we'll do it.
We'll add the Grinch in too, just because there's a game for that too.
Anyways, back to Tonka.
So, yeah, there was Tonka Construction, that was a classic, and then there was also Tonka Fire Rescue, which was a similar setup, but it was more centered around like different kind of like law enforcement and rescue operations. Because I always remember there was a firefighting game where you had like these like water cannons that shot like water missiles. That was cool. Like there was a boat, and you could like design your own travesties
Oh,
of.
I remember that. Yep.
Well, because you had to paint the boat, and it was like, don't worry, you just have fun. So you make it this absolute travesty, and then
Yep.
the second you click done, it just reverts back to normally. And like,
I remember that. Oh, that was always so funny.
it was just so you'd print it out,
yeah.
waste ink.
Because remember, printing was important in the 90s.
Yeah, every game had a print option.
Yeah. Oh, the Tonka games, they were pretty fun. They were good.
They were different. They were interesting for a time. Anyways, there was also the Space Command one or
Oh.
Space Station.
I don't remember that.
I vaguely remember that was like one of the more advanced ones because it didn't run well. It also has a PlayStation version, which I'm going to talk about at some point in the future.
Tonka.
But I love the intro to that too because it's like all
Tonka.
just like construction. It's like Tonka.
Doo doo. And it was like little sounds.
Yeah. That was a goofy one. I remember that. I remember that very well.
Yes.
But
Is it time?
yeah, that one.
Sorry.
What?
Is it time?
What?
Is it time to talk
not
about
yet.
it?
No,
No.
not yet. I'm trying to remember because you had a few other. There was other games we had.
I mean, I had a few other like Barbie games. Like I had that one, the Genie Barbie game, where it came with a genie bottle, and I don't think I ever figured out how it actually worked.
That one didn't run well too because that was when they were starting to get kind of like graphical heavy. Because I
Yeah.
also had one that was like, it was like on a Tonka like. It was like an update to Tonka Construction, but it was like in 3D, and it came with a drill that you actually like somehow would like press
Oh,
against the
yeah.
screen.
Yep.
I don't know how that worked at the time, but that was interesting. There was a lot of Tonka games.
And I think I had a Barbie game that was like a jungle game. You were in the
Oh,
jungle.
Explorers.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got far in that one either.
No, well, that one was too intensive for you.
Yeah. And then there was also a horse game.
The second horse
The
one, which was
second horse
probably one of
one.
the last Barbie games you had before it
Yeah.
before it outclassed the computer.
Yeah. No. And that one was weird. It had like a story. It was like, it wasn't just a horse game, it was a mystery horse game. Because you had to figure out your horse someone stole your horse and you basically
Well,
had to go
there was
find
more
it.
There was more Detective Barbie games after the Carnival Caper.
Oh, there was? Oh, I want to
Yeah.
find. Oh, I'm gonna go find those playthroughs and watch them.
I know they exist. I've never looked into it though, because I just don't have time for that right now.
Yeah, but then those were like the only really other games I remember.
I mean, other than that, it was kind of more just the same generic shovelware that everyone played back in the day. A lot of Jumpstart, a lot of
Yep.
Oh, actually, before we get to the final thing. Do you remember the Jumpstart games with the robot?
Yes. I think
You
so.
played the hell because it was it was like this laboratory, and all the robots were kidnapped, and you had to like do all these like, they were kidnapped by the scientist's daughter.
You guys can't see it now, but my face is a dead stare of I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't remember?
No.
It was like this like robot.
I blocked it out.
Like
no. None of this sounds familiar at all. I mean, I believe you. I bet I played it.
You played hours of this because it was like you had to like go around this like laboratory and find different like clues to like stop this the scientist's daughter from like changing history because she's trying to change history all the time.
It sounds a little familiar. I don't know. I blocked that out of my brain for some reason.
I just remember there was like 3 games that all had this same robot character in them because there was another one where he was like a detective.
Yep.
And you had to like interview people, and then there was another one that was like extreme sports because there's always extreme sports for some reason.
Oh hell yeah, of course, because sports are extreme, Bill.
Okay, you don't know as much about that as I thought you did, so we're gonna move on.
Well,
then,
I tried like looking them up, and it's just like I literally have no I don't know what to look up. Like I remember playing them, but I don't remember anything about them.
The only reason I remember that one is because you put so much time into it and you never finished it because it was just one of those ones that was stupidly long.
Yeah, and it kind of kills me, but I'm not lying. Like I don't remember any. I don't remember. Like, they must not have been that memorable to me. I was too busy remembering Barbie. I was too busy.
I just remember that one because you played a lot of it. But anyways, moving on then. So let's get to the one that we've been holding out on.
Yes.
Okay, calm down. So, this one's kind of funny because of the backstory behind it.
Yes.
So, for years, I had this one game that was incredibly similar to Putt-Putt.
Yes. We both played it.
We both played it. I owned it, though, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Alex were, before we started the pod, or was this before or after we started the pod?
I think
it was before.
I think it was right before we started. Right before.
I was visiting her at her place, and it popped into our heads because we were watching a Putt-Putt playthrough for some reason.
Because this is what we do in our spare time.
We were bored and we didn't know what to watch, so... Yep. All of a sudden it hits us, it's like, didn't you play another game that, like, was like Putt-Putt?
Yes.
And it was driving me nuts because I knew exactly what she was talking about, but I did not know what it was called.
Yep.
So this was one of the rare times where I actually went over to Reddit's Name That Game, or What Game Am I Thinking Of? Mm-hmm. Whatever it's called. And I just kind of, like, was searching through the things, and I immediately popped up, and I typed into Google first. I was like, what was the PC game with the evil tow truck and the red car?
Yeah.
And immediately I find the Reddit page for Name That Game, and someone has a similar description to us.
Yeah.
And it's the first thing I see is Big Action Garage.
Big Action Garage. So, another little backstory. I used to have the nightmares about this tow truck. It haunted me in my dreams. It scared me so badly. I remember having nightmares. So. And I remember, like, thinking it was the most scary truck ever. And
keep in mind, we were like 8 or 9. Like 7. She was probably 7. I was 8 at the time, so yeah. So
after we look it up, after Bill looks it up on Reddit, we look up a playthrough on YouTube.
No, I know. First thing I did is I looked up the box art, and I saw that the main character was like this like super 90s edgy Putt-Putt red car with like hair and a backwards cap, and I'm like immediately like, yep, this is it.
Yep.
So immediately we type in a playthrough on YouTube because we just have to remember.
Yes.
And it all comes back. Like, every moment of this playthrough, I'm sitting here going, I remember everything about this.
Yep.
Like, every stage, like, there was a part where you, like, customized a car.
Yep.
You had to, like, do this maze thing, like, racing game.
Yep.
But
there
the best part was...
house.
Yes. But the best part was when we finally saw the tow truck. And he pops on screen, and our response was literally a flat out, we were scared of that. It is the most unthreatening thing ever, and we were just dumbfounded.
It was not scary at all.
It literally... You want to talk about destroying childhood trauma. Like, immediately killed any sort of like misconceptions. Like immediately, it was like what?
I just remember being so afraid of this tow truck. It was the least
great.
threatening thing.
It was like, what
Oh.
is this? Like,
Oh.
because it actually was kind of impressive because it kind of proved the theory that the childhood brain sees things differently than an adult brain.
Oh yeah.
Because the vision I had in my head was a lot different from what was
Oh.
in the game.
Oh yeah. Same. Like I had.
But what was crazy was everything else in the game I remembered vividly.
No, same. Like everything else, I was like, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. And then I see the tow truck, and I'm like, I don't remember that. No, you didn't look like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's like the Mandela effect, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, if anyone else played Big Action Garage and thought the tow truck was terrifying, go look it up and please tell us if you also...
No. There was 3 Reddit posts that all mentioned the tow truck being terrifying.
Yeah!
But we weren't the only ones.
Like, oh, I remember, like, I'm still butthurt about that a little bit, because, like...
I thought it was... and the best part is, of course we watched the entire playthrough.
Oh, yeah, of course we did. Of course.
Because we need to see how it ended. Because I don't think we ever finished the game back in the day.
Because I think we were scared of the tow truck. But also, that was the most anticlimactic ending. It just was like, he's saved! Yay! And that was it. It was the most bland ending ever. Because it wasn't like Putt-Putt. You didn't win a race. You didn't save the zoo. You just like...
Well, the difference with Big Action Garage was it had the same concept of Putt-Putt, where you... Not Putt... Yeah, Putt-Putt, where you'd click around and go to different areas in like an adventure style and play mini games every now and then.
Yep.
But it didn't have like the crazy, like, you click on shit and like random things happen.
Yeah. It really...
And it was always the same every play. It was the same every playthrough. It wasn't like
It wasn't like changing each time. There was no replayability. Like once you played it, you played it, and you could play it again just to experience the tow truck again. And
I think it was a Fisher Price game. Now that I think about it, but
yeah, no, it was a Fisher Price game. I'm like completely certain it was. So I think it was like Putt-Putt, but like a step down. It was like
it was also about as late 90s and early 2000s as you can get.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous rewatching that. It was like, what is this?
It was also just, like, rewatching. Like, I feel like we both, like, were watching it, and we were just, like... The whole time, I feel like we just ended up talking about how we really thought the tow truck looked different.
No. You know what that playthrough was? That was getting closure. Because
Yeah.
we needed closure
No,
on that part of our lives.
I'm no longer afraid of the tow truck to this day. I was afraid up until that day, and I'm no longer afraid.
I was more just bummed because I was like, this is the thing that's been locked away in my childhood subconscious for this long.
Oh. And you know what's funny too? Didn't he have like a really goofy voice too? Like it was not a threatening voice either. It was like this goofy...
He looked like a comic... He looked like a Saturday morning cartoon villain.
Yeah. Oh, Big Action Garage. What vivid memories we have.
We wanted to end with that, but before we go, I want to talk about what ended that era of PC gaming for us, because eventually we hit the point where Windows 98 wasn't going to cut it anymore. Those computers were far beyond underpowered for the future. And the most notable moment I could tell was when we tried to play The Sims.
Oh, yeah.
Because Sims 1... wasn't happening.
No, it wouldn't cooperate on those computers.
No, it wasn't loading. I mean, those computers probably optimized properly, probably could have handled it, but it wasn't happening.
Yeah, there's no
So
way.
eventually, those computers were retired, and we eventually upgraded to XP computers.
Oh yeah, remember XP, guys? Remember?
Oh, everyone remembers. It was the last good one.
Yeah.
7 was okay. 7 was passable, but XP was the last truly great Windows.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, PC gaming was wild back in the day.
Yeah, we played a lot of Edutainment and a lot of Barbie, and we had a good time, you know? And we had some nightmares, but we had a good time.
I will say, though, Windows 98 N95 had my favorite like Windows like sound effects. They were so just calming and chill and just like relaxed.
Yeah.
That was such a different time, honestly. I miss it to a degree because now PC gaming's all about performance, and it's too expensive for me to care, really.
Yeah. Now it's crazy when you look at PC gaming back then compared to now, and just like, but I mean, like looking back at like the original PlayStation to the PlayStation we have now, it's just crazy how time flies and things change. But you know what won't change?
What?
The tow truck.
Okay. Well, anyways, guys, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. You can find. You can find the Gaming and Collecting Podcast on Apple Podcasts and
Apple
Spotify.
Podcasts, Spotify.
The game. Don't, Alex. Don't ruin the important parts, please. Oh, shut up! Your crocodile tears don't fool anybody. But anyways, guys, the Gaming Collecting Podcast is an Anchor podcast production, and we are most successful on Apple Podcast and Spotify podcasts. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you for joining us again as we discuss the games that shaped us. We'll see you all next time. Bye.